Hi there, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make the wiper card. This one is using products from the Whale of a Time suite from the brand new 2020 to 2021 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. The suite consists of the Whale Done stamp set with coordinating punch. It has this beautiful 6x6 Whale of a Time paper. Each side is different. There are 12 different designs in this 6x6 paper pack, and some of them can be punched out with the coordinating punch. Beautiful paper. I love the ones especially that have little scenes on them. It's so easy to just create a quick and easy card. So I've used a little bit of the paper on here. I also used some of the Whale of a Time sequins, which are included in that suite as well. If you're interested in getting any of these items, you can purchase them in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. But today I'm going to focus on showing you how to make this wiper card and the mechanics. So you may be here if you got my honeybee card kit. This was my Stamp of the Month Club selection in May, and so this was one of the cards featured in that kit. Here are the other two. This stamp set is now retired, so I wanted to show you how to make this wiper card using some brand new products. So I'll be using the pieces to make this whale card. However, if you're trying to make the honeybee card, the measurements and everything are all the same. It's just different paper and different design. So let me share those measurements with you, and we'll go ahead and get started. Our card base here, we've got two pieces. The first one is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and I scored it. Let me turn this around this way. I scored it at 1 1/2 inches and 3 inches, but for the card, I'm going to turn it around so that those smaller scores are on the right side. Then the other piece is 2 inches by 8 1/2 inches. The same score lines, 1 1/2 inches and 3 inches. This time I'm going to keep them on the left side, and we're going to fold both of these to make a Z fold. Actually, that goes the opposite direction, so that the long piece is in the front and the other Z fold behind it. And this is going to have the long piece in the back and the Z fold in front. And so these are going to end up gluing on like this. So we have kind of a double Z fold effect. Now the hard part really is the mechanism inside. So let me share some other measurements with you, and I'll show you how to put it together. I've pre-stamped some pieces here. Our background piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and that is going to go inside the card. Let's just go ahead and glue that down now. That's going to go on the card base. And then we have some designer paper pieces. The long one is 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And then the smaller one is 1 1/4 by 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to take my Post-it note off. Okay, so this one's going to end up going over here, and this one is going to go on the inside over here. I'm going to glue this one down, but we're going to hold off and glue the other one down in just a moment, and I'll show you why, because we're going to glue these pieces together and the paper is going to go over it. A couple more measurements. This piece on the front, this is Granny Apple Green. This is 1 inch by 5 1/4 inch. That's going to go on the front. And then this little piece of cardstock is 1 inch by 2 inch. Actually, it's more like 1 by 7 and or 1 7/8 inch. So it's just a little bit shorter than 2 inches. And then I didn't have a Post-it note, but we have a little piece of window sheet. This is a 1/2 inch by 2 inches. I used a piece of cardstock that I die cut with the stitch shape labels, and I went ahead and stamped. I used colors from the designer paper, so Pretty Peacock, Granny Apple Green, Shaded Spruce, and Balmy Blue. And then look at this cute guy. I stamped him in Pretty Peacock and punched him out with the punch. This came from the stamp set Whale Done. So these are all the pieces that we need to make our card. So let's start. First, we're going to put the side of our card base together. So I like to use the tear and tape for this. You could use the new Stampin' Seal Plus, or you could use the, if you have some heavy duty adhesive. Some people like the liquid adhesive, but I find it to be messy and sometimes hard to work with. So I like the tear and tape, but you can use any strong adhesive that you like. And you're going to put some, this is on the long edge. While we're doing the tear and tape, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the other side as well. So this is the adhesive that we're going to use to put the card together. So we've got one on one end, one on the other end of the same long strip. Now the long side here is going to glue to the edge of the big cardstock behind it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down. I'm just matching up the edges. Okay, so really simple. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and add our designer paper and do some embellishments on the front. So let's just go ahead and we'll decorate this part of it. And when you put the circle on, you want to make sure that you're not putting any adhesive on the top corner here. So we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals strategically on the back and the bottom. And then we're going to put this on the card like that. Okay. Oops, look at that. It's hanging over just a smidge. See if we can move it over so that it's not, we don't want any of the adhesive to glue the card closed. So we're just going to move that over a little bit so that dot is on the end. Okay, now we're going to open it up. So right now the only part that's adhered down is the right side. So we're going to open this up and fold it back, and we're going to do the inside mechanics, the inside mechanism. So I've got this piece, again, this is 1 inch by 1 7/8 inch, and we're going to turn this piece so that it's horizontal, and we're going to fold up this corner, the bottom right corner, so that the end meets the side and create like a little triangle. This piece is going to glue down right here. So we've got our first score where the adhesive is, and then there's our second score right here. So this piece, the little triangle, is going to be inside the score line and below this line here. So when you have it folded up, it's going to look like it's just inside that corner. We're going to use some glue dots. So let me put some glue dots on here. Again, you can use a different adhesive like liquid glue. I like the glue dots because they're really easy to apply to this small piece and they're pretty sturdy. So I'm going to use some glue dots and I'm going to line this up again, right? So we've got just inside the score line and just below the top line here, and then we're going to glue this down. So I'm just folding that down with the adhesive. And so the only place that this rectangle is glued down is that corner. Now we're going to take and we're going to fold the rectangle down. And this is why I cut it at 1 7/8 inch, because it shouldn't go below this 2 inch piece. So if it does, you want to cut so that it's not coming below the bottom of your card. Then we're going to use the glue dots again, and we're going to adhere the window sheet. Again, this is 1/2 inch by 2 inches. One little glue dot, and that's going to go on the side right here. And then our whale is going to go, I think it's actually easier to put the glue dot. Let's put the glue dot right on the window sheet. Oops. And then our whale is going to go on the card so that you want him to fall within this 2 inch spot, this 2 inch thing. So it's kind of tight with the whale, but you don't want him to be sticking out. So whatever your pop-up piece is, you want it to be something that you can angle within that 2 inch margin. Okay, so now when we fold this Z back over, you can see he's falling within the margin, and we're going to go ahead and glue this piece, the side, to keep that folded. We'll just go ahead and open it while we're trying to glue it down. This is going to go flat to this piece. Okay, so now when you close it, the whale is down, and when you open it, well, look at that! Now he's swimming up there. Isn't that fun? I know I made it look really easy, but I have to tell you over and over and over again how many times I fussed with it and got it just right. So let me sort of review. Here's the card open again. This is my template. You're going to fold up this little triangle piece and then glue it down, and then fold that rectangle down and put your glue dot and your window sheet here, and then the whale is going to glue right there, and then you close the card and glue it shut. So here again, here's the finished one. The only difference here is that I added some of the sequins. I added some Wheel of the Time sequins just to kind of fill out the card so that it looked full and pretty. And here again is the honeybee card. So there's so many different things that you can make with a wiper card. If you don't want to do a window sheet, you could have your 1 inch by 2 inch piece could be longer, and the cardstock could stick up and it could be a whole sentiment or stamped image that pops up there. But I wanted to have something that looked like it was floating. So there it is. That's how you make the wiper card. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you will try the wiper card at home. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see more awesome videos using new catalog products. And again, if you want to shop in my store, you can go to juliedavison.com/shop and get all the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog goodies. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping!